What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. And with SummerSlam just a week away and Retribution ready to strike at any moment, what happened on the latest edition of Smackdown? Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 14th August episode of Smackdown, as well as the wildest wrestling news and stories you need to know, including WWE scrapping PG, serious heat on a WWE superstar, a big spoiler as a fired superstar could be turning up on Dynamite next week, Randy Orton gives zero. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we won't recap the show, but provide you just with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Badass Braun. Make no mistake about it, the monster among men is back, and he's ready to destroy the Fiend. That was the message the WWE sent during the Strowman-Fiend confrontation. Strowman's bold look is a cosmetic way to show his new persona, and now he fully looks like Gene Snitsky, but the real change was his maniacal laugh and his apparent new ability to perform supernatural feats as he disappeared from the ring. The WWE has a potential classic on their hand if they let Braun and the Fiend put on an all-out brawl at SummerSlam. In fact, they might even want to stretch this series out for more than one match, with some sort of stipulation match at Payback, such as a no-holds-barred last man standing or even another cinematic match, although if it's anything like the Swamp Fight, let's skip the cinematic match. Number 2, Abyss's cameo. The WWE Universe will always wonder what would have happened if Abyss had worked in the WWE, and while they'll never know, they did get to see a hilarious angle with AJ Styles proclaiming his fondness for statistics in sports before unveiling the phenomenal Intercontinental Statistics System. Obviously, WWE can't have that as an acronym. The segment featured Joseph Parks, aka Abyss, and was a great way to set up Hardy vs Styles at SummerSlam and for the WWE to mock AEW's rating system, which no one including AEW seemed to understand. Joseph Parks' participation lit up social media, with the former Abyss tweeting, "My apologies to AJ Styles for my dereliction of duty in the Marker Gate incident on Smackdown tonight. That Jeff Hardy assaulted you, AJ. I saw the whole thing." As sometimes happens, the WWE may have stumbled into a breakout character with Parks. It's pretty crazy that these two had a match in very different circumstances in 2005 in TNA. And number 3, Kalisto returns. As good as Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik, the Lucha House Party seem to be missing something without Kalisto's presence. Now that Kalisto is back from injury, the WWE can make for some interesting matches against Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, especially if it allows the Luchadors to compete as a combination of the 3 members, aka the Freebird rule. But that was the good. What about the bad? As number 1, Asuka wins the Battle Royal. Asuka's win in the Tri-Brand Battle Royal to determine Bayley's opponent at SummerSlam was kind of a bad move and another example of the WWE's failed booking of its women's division. While the thought of Asuka becoming Asuka 2 belts is intriguing, the Golden Role Model's stranglehold on all the championship gold has been a slap in the face to the talented women in the WWE, and Asuka winning both singles championships won't do anything to remedy the problem. Instead, it reinforces the idea that there are less than a handful of women worthy of the fans' attention, and everyone else are perpetual runners-up. That's no way to build new stars or make for exciting matches. Number 2, Lucha House Party steal the tag titles. The WWE looks to building up the tag team championship program between SmackDown champions Nakamura and Cesaro against the Lucha House Party. While this should make for some great matches, did they need to go with the cheap angle of the Lucha House Party stealing the belts? Should fans expect to see Kalisto, Dorado and Metalik revisiting Eddie and Chavo Guerrero's "we lie, we cheat, we steal" gimmick? Well, if that doesn't happen, it's cheap heat at its worst and another sign of creative's many failings. Number 3, the more things change. Congratulations to the WWE for turning Sheamus babyface and Shorty G heel, but maintaining the status quo of having Shorty G job to Sheamus, much as he did back when he was a face and Sheamus was a heel. Any chance Shorty G has of getting over with his turn are quickly evaporating. Number 4, where's Big E's push? Fans excited by the WWE finally pulling the trigger on Big E's singles push are now wondering whether or not this push is going to amount to anything. Some fans are already asking why Big E didn't get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam, and while that seems premature, his current mini program with John Morrison hasn't exactly been the stuff of legend. Number 5, Alexa can't act. While the WWE's use of Alexa Bliss in the Fiend vs Strowman feud is a great way to add another dimension to it, there's a serious problem. Little Miss Bliss can't act worth a damn. Her promo skills are good, but her recent segments with The Fiend and Braun Strowman have been downright laughable. They need to either send her to acting school or to retool the program to hide her shortcomings. Now, there was no downright ugly of last night's episode. Last night's show was nothing special, but it was nothing terrible either. The WWE furthered the Fiend Strowman Bliss triangle, set up Hardy vs Styles with a funny segment, and continued the Retribution storyline. But speaking of Retribution, have they grown a little bit taller since the last time we saw them? Somebody's been eating those Mario mushrooms. But what did you guys think of Smackdown last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Now our first story looks at serious heat on Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is back on NXT, but rumor has it he's facing significant heat backstage. According to Ringside News' Felix Upton, there is significant heat on Velveteen Dream stemming from behavioral issues and what was perceived as preferential treatment in multiple situations. In most other instances, if allegations surface like that, someone would be fired. No details about disciplinary actions taken against Velveteen Dream have been revealed. It kinda sounds as if the WWE didn't handle the situation well in terms of Dreams' return to the black and gold brand. Fightful Select reported that the majority of NXT superstars didn't learn of his return until minutes before the show. Next up, Randy Orton gives zero fucks. While Randy Orton and Matt Jackson are separate in promotions, that doesn't mean they can't have cyber clashes. Recently, Matt posted a video on Instagram from the Young Bucks Dynamite match against the Dark Order, where he dived at the group. We all know Orton loves dives. He replied, "Sweet landing, but you didn't hit anybody. Tell Cody, Goldust, Harper, Swags, Y2J, Hardy, Ryder, Spears, Ambrose, Arn, Malenko, Gunn, and most importantly, FTR for me." Jackson had some fun of his own, replying, "Can I screenshot this for my 50 seconds for 50 plus bit? They'll love this." Randy Orton is one of the most entertaining wrestlers inside and outside of the ring. Not to be taking anything away from R-Truth, by the way. Next up, has WWE scrapped PG? Now, fans are asking this after SmackDown aired with a TV-14 rating rather than its usual TV PG rating. This could be a one-time change, or could it be something permanent that reflects an effort to present edgier content in its renewed efforts to jumpstart its ratings? Next up is a fired superstar in AEW, and by the way, there are major Dynamite spoilers here, so we'll give you some time to skip ahead. Extreme Rules' swamp fight between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman featured many Easter eggs to the Wyatt family, and apparently it almost included an appearance by former Wyatt family member Eric Rowan. Speaking with Sportskeeda's Stephanie Chase, Eric Redbeard aka Eric Rowan talked about the WWE wanting him there for the match. "There may have been a chance I was given a call, and there may have been a chance that I was busy filming. So yeah, there is a high probability that I just wasn't able to fill their request." Now, Rowan appearance could have been fun, but nothing could have saved the match from being the confusing mess it quickly deteriorated into. But whilst we're on this story, there seem to be some huge Dynamite spoilers, so again, if you don't want to know, please skip ahead. Now, next week's Dynamite spoilers have been leaked online by user Weird Warthog, and he mentions that Eric Rowan, who is now going by the name Joseph Rudd, will be debuting. Rudd will be there to help Brody Lee. However, this could all be bogus, as Dave Meltzer has called the post fake, and Pro Wrestling Sheet's Ryan Satin also addressed the issue with Eric's hair, with the post mentioning he grew it out, yet a recent Sportskeeda livestream with Rowan proves otherwise, as he's still bald. The post has been deleted by Warthog, but he has been a reliable source in the past, getting a number of spoilers correct. Next up, Drew McIntyre calls out WWE legend. Drew McIntyre is WWE champion, and so far he's been a fighting champion willing to take on any challenger. He's also looking to challenge some of wrestling's greatest stars from the past, as seen when he issued a challenge to The Rock. During an interview with the Glasgow Times, the WWE champion suggested he go one-on-one with the Great One at Glasgow's Ibrox Stadium. I thought, what would The Rock do in this situation? If this was 1998-1999, what would he say? I thought, screw it, I'm the champion, I don't back down to anyone, even The Rock. My phone exploded. I love to face The Rock anywhere, but if there was one place on earth, it would be a WrestleMania at Ibrox. That would be great for personal reasons. It would probably have to be a Hampden. We'd need somewhere massive. If he chose to come back for a match as the biggest box office attraction in the world, wow. Come on, Rock, give me that match. The Rock vs McIntyre would be fantastic, but rumor has it the WWE is looking to book The Rock vs Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 37. Naturally, with The Rock, it all depends on the People's Champion's busy schedule as to when he's free. Next up, Shane McMahon is a big Shayna Baszler fan. While there's no doubt Shayna Baszler is one of the women's division's most skilled performers, her main roster push has been pathetic until recently she all but disappeared from WWE TV. However, that might change as now she seems to be heavily involved in Raw Underground, and according to Sportskeeda's Tom Colohue, she has a big supporter. Speaking on the Dropkick Discussions podcast, Colohue noted, yes, there were a lot of changes to the Raw Women's title picture, and the idea of Shayna Baszler being there is in and out. She has been very in and out of plans, but what I will say is that Shane McMahon is actually a very big fan of Baszler, so we saw a chance to use her, and I thought that in particular environment, he used her very well. Do you think Raw Underground is a good way to help promote underutilized talent? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Randy Orton defeats Drew McIntyre on TikTok. Last but not least, Randy Orton has had some fun on TikTok recently, posting a video of a Randy Orton action figure RKOing a Drew McIntyre action figure to become WWE Champion. Check it out for a quick laugh.
I said, do you wanna fight me? Do you wanna catch his hands? Bitch, I'll catch you in the streets, I'm with that beef. Bitch, I'll beat your ass.
But there you have it, guys. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly from last night's Smackdown, along with the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.